Hi, my name is Gabrielle Hsu, and I'm a Classicalia semi-finalist. So I started playing piano when I was 4.5 years old, and I started because my brother actually started before me, and he's older than I am, so I always looked up to him, and I thought I would always hear him practice, and it was always so interesting to me, so I asked my mom to help me start piano lessons, and she agreed. So a recent accomplishment that I had at the piano was actually last year when I was preparing for master's auditions. Sometimes when you practice, you think of things more on a small scale, or you think about like small sections instead of thinking about the big picture and like expressing things to the audience. So I think last year I improved a lot in that aspect. It was also interesting to watch back like some trials I had performing like multiple pieces in a row for like 45 minutes or an hour, because I realized that sometimes you think you're doing something, but then when you listen back, it doesn't actually come out, or you think, oh, I'm so in the moment, but then when you listen back, maybe some details aren't there and it actually sounds worse. So it was interesting trying to balance like thinking about what I'm doing and also feeling it in the moment. Sometimes it really sounds like not what I thought it sounded like at all. Because I'm like, oh, I thought I was doing this and this and this, and I wasn't rushing and I wasn't doing this. But when you listen, you're like, oh, I hear like all these different things that I don't hear when I'm actually playing. Recently, I've been listening to a lot of pianists like Martha Argerich or like Grigory Sokolov, who are very like unique musical voices. And it's kind of different from when I was younger. I would listen to people who are very stable and play things in sort of like a correct way, like something that no one can disagree with artistically. And of course, like Agarich and Sokolov are these amazing pianists that a lot of people, like the majority, I think, of pianists really love, but they have such a unique artistic voice that these days I find it really inspiring to listen to their playing. When I was younger, I used to always be so worried about the technical aspect of playing and making sure whatever the composer wrote was I like accurately portrayed when I played and all that, which is all still important, of course. But then you these days I'm trying to think about like what will make me stand out from other people. And of course, naturally everyone is different, right? And just being able to express that, I think, is what makes someone an artist and what makes music so interesting and beautiful, even though we all play like pretty much the same repertoire, or like at least the same standard repertoire. So as a classical musician living in New York, I find that just the culture of music and also being surrounded by musicians. I go to Manhattan School of Music, so a lot of my friends are musicians. It's just so inspiring. It's also great to be able to go to so many different concerts. When I'm at home in New Jersey, I focus more on practicing and then finding inspiration from like, I don't know, the internet or any videos, stuff like that. And in a big city, because there are so many options, sometimes it is overwhelming because you don't know what to choose. But it's also great because you can choose different things like on different weeks, and there's just an endless amount of things that you can listen to and get inspired by. Even things that aren't like music, like museums. There's so many museums, and I love going to them. And looking at art is also really inspiring and can help, you know, you when you practice. So when I'm not playing piano, I like to go outside. Most of the time, I feel like I spend so much time in the practice room that it's nice to get some fresh air. So I always go on walks, or In New York, there are a lot of parks. I love to go to Central Park, and near my apartment, there's this duck pond. So a lot of the times I go visit the ducks. For my round two audition, I played Piano Sonata in D major, D850 by Franz Schubert. First of all, Schubert sonatas are notorious for being super long and also being quite repetitive. So it was a challenge to be able to focus the whole time and to also make any repetitions that are in the piece different and special. My favorite, I guess, era of piano music usually comes from the Romantic era. I love that expressivity and all of that like heart-wrenching sort of melodies and harmonies.